right, y'all. I'm here. I'm just for whatever reason the camera froze earlier, and so I'm trying to see why it's doing the shit it's doing right now. It really is causing a bit of a problem. Give me just a second. I don't know why it's doing that. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. That's not quite what we're talking about tonight. Oh, here's a piece of shit. That ain't gonna work. Fuck no. I wonder why that shit look like that. It's definitely not. Also, not the settings I picked. That's the ones I want. All right, cool. Give me just a moment. I'm restoring whatever settings I fucked up. Um, all right, that looks good. So we'll use this. Do 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 do. No more. What is love? All right, that's enough of that shit. Let me just double check this, making sure the camera is actually work. It's not. I don't know what's going on with this piece of shit. I don't know why the camera's not acting right. It just cut out. Like, hmm. It cut on, then it cut the fuck off. Uh, Let me see what's happening here. Give me just a second. Mm, 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 mm. Fucking. All righty. Hopefully this is accurate now. Let's try this. See if it works. Hopefully we don't have too much going on. I guess it resets some shit. I don't know what's been going on with OBS lately. It hasn't been holding my settings down. Give me just a minute because I know this is. You want to come in here and talk about love, talk about the love machine, and this obviously is not showing me love. So this is not what we're here for. Let me. So- Yeah, it's crazy. Do just do that. That looks like it's working. All right. Just do that. Don't ask me any questions about what the fuck just took place. I don't know. And I'm not gonna take the time to explain it. But anyway, welcome to the den. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. Thank you for being here this evening. If you are familiar with the den is a community. It is a beautiful community of people who come together and have conversations with one another about a wide variety of topics. Um, so tonight we're talking about the laws of love. There's no, well, there is, right? And I meant to actually pull this up beforehand. I'm gonna just pull up a random version. It might not necessarily be the version I would personally quote, but I'm gonna say some things, and we're gonna talk about love. What does love really mean? And tonight, not so much am I gonna tell you what I think. I'm not gonna do that so much tonight. Not too much. What I want to do tonight is I want to know what you think. Right? I think this should be a very simple conversation. I think it should be a very easy conversation to have. Right? Because you should have your own setup. I mean, love is a thing I think that everybody, in some form or fashion, is seeking, maybe to different degrees, right? But I think you should have an idea of what your rules are, what your laws are, what are your hard yeses, or your hard no's when it comes to dealing with, there's people in this, I don't want to say opposite sex, but dealing with significant others, right? So, Yeah, this was about you. I'm gonna try my best not to lay down too much of my beliefs. But this is the den. I am gonna start talking. I'm gonna start saying stuff and then probably ramble on. Ramble on. And get to talking. So anyway, love, right? I think people complicate it really. I think they do make it difficult. I think a lot of it comes from a lot of different things, especially moderns. I think love is dwindling, honestly. Or what we knew as the feeling was love. It is much more fleeting now than it was in the past, right? I'll tell you why I believe that. But before that, I'm gonna do a little Den Folk roll call. So if you know my other channel, and most of you do, I do a thing in there called Salt Station Roll Call. And that's basically, you shout out wherever you may be from, right? Or whatever resonates with you. You're, yeah. But mainly because it's a Houston thing, so it's usually about shouting out your side of town. Um, if you know, you know. Um, but I'm gonna start doing something similar like that. But the Den folk they're more spread out, so I'm not telling you don't list your city. That would be weird. You could have people trying to find you. But drop your state or whatever state you represent when we do the Den folk room. Some of y'all might be out of town, right? You might be, out of town, stuffing skeletons in your closet. But anyway, so Den folk roll call. Shout out your state with. I gotta work on that. I'm gonna have to come up with that. I don't know. I have to work on that. But rule number one: show no love. Love will get you. Oh, yeah, right. And that is true. Love is a gamble. I don't think people realize how much of a gamble love is. Whether it's being in love with expressing your emotions to someone who might not be mutually interested, right? Or making a commitment with somebody long term and falling out of feelings. And maybe you thought they were the one they weren't. It could be a time commitment, and time is that one thing you can never get back, right? That is the ultimate investment. So that is definitely something you have. Lord's law, what? Ain't seen you in a minute. Glad that you're in it. Let me see who all in here, man. Because before I start talking out to myself, I see the lovely Miss Bell Northside in the building. Michelle from Southern Oklahoma. M5. What's the motherfucking deal? Delta Echo Golf Roger Apple Charlie in the building. Reverend Broderick Brooks Sr. So is there a Reverend Broderick Brooks Jr.? Or do you just take the Reverend off and just Broderick Brooks Jr.? How does that whole thing work? Does the name get passed along with the bloodline? I don't know. Right? All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Yeah, that was me getting ready. And you know what? It's funny. What? See, this is what I'm saying. The fucking phone. I didn't even call the phone name, and I don't even know what the phone name is. That bitch just started lighting up and started just talking. You piece of shit. And they're always listening. They tell you they ain't listening, but they slipped up while we put the notification on. He wasn't supposed to know we were listening. But yeah, there's that. One. What? What? One. These are names I haven't seen in quite some time. Heyo. But yeah, that's funny, right? The shirtless intro and Sarah missed it. Ain't that a shame? She'll have to go back and catch it. Diddly 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 diddly. Love should be low and off screen. I put all my love on the screen. That's how they like it. The lovely Miss D the Gamma. HT Jason. What's the motherfucking deal? Represent two streams today. Shout out to HT Jason. Appreciate the love. See, Tennessee in the building. We're not going to shout that out ever again. North Carolina in the building. At least go. Texas. Big Texas in the building. You know I love that. Let's see. True love is giving me the rest of oh. I would rather buy you your own fries than share my fries with you. Right? Like that's the kind of man I am. Like I can love and care about you friends, whatever. I would feel better about buying you your own large fry, even if you didn't want that many fries. I just want one fry. I'd rather buy you your own fries than you dip into my fry because these fries were allotted to me and there's only a finite amount, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's only a finite amount of fries allotted to me. And I need all of them. I need all of them for the minimal nourishment that they provide, right? And we're talking about minimal to none, but I need all of that. So there's that. I just feel better about buying your own fries. And then, if you don't eat all your fries, I get to have those fries that you don't. So it's like it's a win for me. But anyway, what is love, right? And I think everybody has their own set of rules, and I can't tell you what's right and what's wrong. And I think I think you should have standards for yourself, but only you can prevent forest fires. So only you know what is good for you. Only you know what it is you're seeking. I think there are people who have these very unhealthy concepts of love, but uh, it's almost for some, it's almost parasitic, right? But it might work for them. They might have someone who needs to be a host to the parasite. That's how they feel wanted, need, and love. And the parasite just may need to, just latch on and do that thing. But I don't know. Some people may, and it's not necessarily a relationship. Let's we're talking stick to love. I don't want to talk necessarily relationship too much, but it ties in. But what is the hard no for you? What is the thing that lets you know that a person doesn't love you? When I'm talking about love, again, it doesn't have to necessarily be in love. It can be a romantic love, it could be a familial love, it could be however you want to identify it. Again, I think people have different definitions of what love is. What sucks is that we live in a society like we do because honestly, when you feel genuine love from somebody, right? Or you feel love. It may not be genuine, but you feel love. So, like coming back to the den, that love felt good. Like I said recently, just been going back to the sauce. That love, it feels good. You feel appreciated, valued, right? But is that a selfish feeling? Um, is love really love without it being reciprocated? Right? Is it is it defined really? So I'm going to go to a thing, and I think it's something that we've all read, and I meant to pull it up. Mr. Broderick, oh, I love this one. Um, let me make sure if I can find it. We all go to. I think it's this one. Is it? Is it? Yeah, this is the one. I don't think it's First Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. I think it says, but y'all know what that is, right? Give me that. I don't want that. Give me that. And this is why I say it's weird because a lot of people I don't think understand what true love really is. Um, Let me just pull whatever version out of the paint they got. Right, there's a bunch of them. I don't know what version this is. I'm just gonna read it. Right, but you get the gist of it. You got to quote it. But I've always believed in this from young, especially being raised. Joe's, but you take the. I took things a little more literally. I guess this means something to me. And I guess if I say that I love you, I try to apply this mentality to it. It's not always easy. It's not perfect. And it is dangerous. But it says, and everybody in here should have heard this in some form or fashion. It says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. I'm sorry. Love never fails. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that. The rest of it's not necessarily about love. That's some prophecies. Yeah, red tongues and some other stuff, whatever. But basically, y'all know what I'm saying. That part about love, I'm a firm believer in that. So I don't know because I know that most people who quote unquote say they love somebody or they don't operate like that. Like if I fuck with you, I'm not keeping track of every fucked. I'm not keeping track of every transaction. I'm not keeping track of who did what last or who's like. I'm not playing tit for tat. Like you know, I'm looking at it differently, right? But there have been situations I've been in when moving like that. It doesn't get you reciprocated, right? And it could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be whatever. Um, so it's hard when you have a definition of something and you apply it a certain way, but somebody else's definition of the same thing may be completely different. So the reason I brought that up is just to kind of give you an idea, I guess, of how I think. I don't have that verse memorized. I just always kind of had a general gist of it from a young age. It always stood out to me, right? And I always thought that that was how it was supposed to be. Um, on one particular side of my family, that's kind of that's what I saw emulated, right? And so, you know what I'm saying? Right. It is like so and I've shifted even recently when I look at things, man. Like I try my best not to have anger towards anybody, right? Doesn't mean that you can't be violent towards people. You just try not to have anger. There's always a threshold, right? So I think people hear things, they get confused. Um, I try to, I wouldn't even say necessarily say empathy. I try to have understanding, but there's a limit to understanding and then, being foolish about it. Um, because you can understand a person's situation and and it can still hurt you, right? You can have a complete understanding of what's going on, but you put yourself in it, you catch a stray, right? So you have to be cautious. And again, like I say, I've applied this in relationships and maybe not gotten that back. And then you look at the person, well, why don't you get the back? You look at their belief and their understanding of what love is. That's why I mentioned the other day, it might have been the Discord. I was talking about I remember speaking with somebody from a different country. And I want to say it was France. And I know how you guys feel about the French. It's not like that. But what they were saying was that the American concept of love is strange because we will say that we love um, inanimate objects. We'll say that we love things that don't have a soul. We'll say that we love things that don't have, you know, sentience. So that's kind of the problem, right? So I don't think most Americans have a real idea of love. I think a lot of us um, have been polluted, right? I think Americans have more infatuation and worship than than anything. They worship people more than anything, than I think they do have love. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's get into a very interesting discussion. Again, I'm gonna open up the line, and I want to know what your view of love truly is. I want to know what you think of when the word love comes to mind. What does it mean to you? What is the rule to loving you? What are your rules? What is love? What is necessary? What is a must? Okay, so this is a very I think this is a conversation everybody should be able to participate in. I think this is a conversation that everybody should be able to have some type of impact in. Everybody should be able to have a thought on this. So there's no reason some of you who have been teetering on calling in should not be able to call in tonight and express the fact that you have some kind of perception of love, right? You should know what you want. You should know how you want to be loved. But I'd rather be feared than loved with a pocket full of doves. Let's get ready to open up this line. Let us have a great conversation tonight. I'm drinking coffee at damn near 10 o'clock. I'm gonna be up on it. Hey man, don't forget it's motherfucking To Be Tuesday. To Be Tuesday is going down, baby. Look, I ain't even I see y'all trying to call in. I ain't even got the line set up yet. Give me a second. I know I got the headset on, so yep, I'm like, all right, he's got the headset ready, set, go. Let's fire it up. I am not ready yet. Give me just a moment. Let me get the line together. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I hope all you have had a good day. I really truly do. I value each and every one of you because, like I say, you are in some way, form, or fashion a part of my world. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your world. And I didn't say it in the beginning, and my apologies. It is my honor. It is my privilege. This is a privilege. It really truly is, right? And when I say it is my honor, I am honored because you could be anywhere uh, doing anything. So the fact that you are here kicking it with the Den folks tonight, I am very honored by that. But most of all, it is my pleasure, right? It truly is. It's not that Chick-fil-A my pleasure. Like it truly is my pleasure to get to hang out with you wonderful people. Like many of you have motivated, inspired, informed me in one way, form, fashion, or another, and you may or may not have even noticed, right? You may not have even known it. It may have been something that you said, it may have been a conversation, and given a little bit of input, right? Sometimes you got to understand the things you say may be benefiting someone else when you're saying. So, all right, all right, all right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
It's Belle. I wanted to be first so I could just chill out and listen to everybody else.
No, none of that chill out. We ain't doing that chill out shit tonight. Everybody turning up. It's To Be Tuesday, Miss Bell. To Be Tuesday.
It is.
Do you know what that means? It's going down after the
Yeah, it means
stream
to
in the
take a
Discord.
nap so I can watch tonight in the
Take a nap.
Discord.
Ain't no
And I have
time.
to.
Take a nap. Ain't no time for
Yeah.
a nap. We just it's stream and then
Hey,
Tubi
I've been
action.
recovering. I'm on
Mm-mm.
recovery.
Nah, I don't want to hear that. All you gotta do is find a local dope man. Just tell him you just need a bump or two. You'll be good. You'll be good for Tubi Tuesday, and you can party with the rest of us.
Shit. I haven't had a side piece in, what, years? Anyway, so different types of love. One, I think of unconditional love with my kids and my mom and my family. Then I think about self love and what it means to me and being the difference between being selfish and loving oneself and what is a proper way to care for me. Um,
Okay, hold
and
on
then
on that
two,
thought. Could you explain the difference between self love and being selfish? Where is the line drawn between self love and self love is a word I hear thrown around a lot
okay,
these days.
well, okay, and it took me. I was probably almost 30 before I really kind of understood what it was because what I didn't understand was people told me I was selfish, and what I recognized with being selfish and I was thinking it was self love were kind of two different things. But ultimately, what I figured it out to be is when you're standing up for your own moral character, or I can specifically speak for me. It's by me saying no to something that would go against. You actually used a word that worked really well earlier. Red flags, whether it's a relationship or whether it's family. And sometimes, if people are too toxic and you decide that you don't want to be in their space, but because you've chose to be out of their realm, you're choosing self-love rather than being selfish just to be there for whatever the event is. And you're choosing to keep yourself out of all that. And that's not an easy thing either. Um, self-love is making sure that you get your needs met, whether it's drinking 64 ounces of water a day, whether it's, getting a certain amount of physical activity, whether it's, doing things for job and employment or your kids. It doesn't mean being perfect, but it means putting effort forward. Accomplishing things is self-love. And the really weird thing is a lot of people don't think about, like, making your bed, brushing your teeth, being ritualistic of either eating breakfast or dinner or whatever. But when you don't have those things, it takes away from you caring for yourself and self-love. So it's just a thought. I mean, there's so.
When does it? But when does it self-love? Like, when does it cross over into like selfishness? Can you be too focused on self-loving?
Okay. To me, being selfish would be knowing damn right well. Okay, this is a bad example, but it's the only one I got right at the moment because it's in front of me. Knowing damn right well I shouldn't have a whole box of M&Ms. I can have like maybe 10 or 20, but having a big share bag, no, that's not. So me being selfish would be eating the whole bag so nobody else could have any. And I'm not loving myself because I'm not taking care of my body and the temple that I have. So it's all choice making with self-love. It's deciding in a conscious level of doing those things.
So my biggest concern with the shareable bag is that you're not sharing any with me. So I am a bit pissed off about that, and I'm going to
I
call
have
you
not bought a
selfish.
bag in a good long time, but yeah, I would share them with you. However, don't take them off my plate or I would be pissed. I have no problem sharing.
Which ones are you talking about? The plain M&Ms or the peanut M&M?
Peanut M&Ms.
I know you're racist because the plain M&Ms are black and you don't like black stuff. What's up?
No, actually, they have a coating of chocolate between the shell and the peanut. The peanut has more protein,
Take your word for
and
that.
I'm going to stick with that.
And you said unconditional love, and you mentioned family when you said unconditional love.
Mhm.
Do you think that everyone is getting that type of love?
No. Um, I think parents can scar children when they tell them that as they get older and actually they've aged out or majoritied out over 18, that their love becomes conditional. I think that that's really a bunch of bullshit. It's a way of parents wanting to manipulate their kids. I think it's using love as a weapon, and I don't think that's okay. I love my children all the time. I just don't like their damn behavior when things go wrong. Now, does that mean they do everything wrong? No, they don't. But it's the fact that you can, and there's days I don't like my children because of just shit going on. But it doesn't stop me from loving them, nor does it stop me from loving my mother and my sister. You know. But do I like their behavior or how they treat me sometimes? No. All right. I'm suspecting that you're saying for one to call in.
No,
You're not
no.
the only one that can read.
I'm joking that you're saying that you don't like your kids sometimes. So I pushed 3 digits, which represented
Oh,
911.
911.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yes.
No, I
Good.
mean, hey, I think one time one of my kids decided that, hey, I don't like this. I'm gonna, leave, and I'm like, go ahead, because I love you forever. They're only gonna love you while the check's there.
Mm. Terrible.
And I might not be the best parent, but I do love you, and you may not like what I'm doing because you've made choices and I've had to give you consequences, but there it is.
Do you think a parent can show a kid love by letting them bump their head, by letting them go out on their own and figure it out?
I think there's a certain amount that they're supposed to do at home so that when they get out in the big bad world that, yeah, they know it's big and bad, but it's not as scary. And it doesn't, that's where the rub is, honestly. That's where it sucks being a parent, because how much do you let your kid fall at home before you actually help them more than they would have normally needed it, kind of thing, overhelp them? And then there's times that it's like, oh shit, I probably should have, done more with that particular situation. Any parent worth its grain in salt worries about whether or not they've done right or wrong by their kids, because there's actual concern for their well-being in the adult world. But most of the time, and this is what I've heard through generations even before mine, is that you try to let them learn some of the lessons and fall at home, so that when they go out into the world, they won't fly as low, or they won't fall as bad. Does that mean everybody will? Oh, hell no. And some kids leave home before, age of maturity, which is 18. I've got a friend who left home at 16, and she's been on her own ever since. And then there's other people that go to college, come home, and haven't left yet, and they're in their 30s and 40s. So, every parenting and child situation that way, as far as love goes, is different. But tolerating bad behavior is not good love as a parent either, because that means you're showing them that you're not giving them good boundaries. And I wonder how many people can see the difference between love and toxic love, because there is a huge difference in that.
Define toxic love for me.
It's when you're so committed to another person that you're sacrificing a lot of other things around you. It's a bad example, but it's the one that we've come up with a lot. It's the woman who leaves her children to go after the boyfriend.
Seen that a couple of times. Seen a video of that very recently.
Yeah. That's toxic, because your first priority should be your children. That was what you decided to do, and you're abandoning that. And you're going to something because it's not as hard. Well, buck up. Life has its moments. And so going into that without resolving anything else can become toxic. Not to say that it is, but most of the time it becomes toxic. And most of the time the ones that don't want kids are very selfish on their own. So the woman's sometimes having to deal with a narcissist.
What? What? Because he don't want kids?
I have to say that.
He's
I
a
have to say that.
narcissist because he doesn't want children?
Not necessarily. Now, there's a difference between the fact that she has him and she gave all of hers up for him, and him being all right and being selfish with her, walking away from her kids.
I think that's more of her
now,
problem.
Wait a minute. Can you honestly tell me, in all the years that I've known you, and I just honestly couldn't believe that you would let a woman walk away from her children to be in a relationship with you only. I'm not saying it's not a nice idea because you don't have to deal with the kids, but that's not the point.
So when you ask a question like this, there's a few factors that we do have to seriously consider. Now, walking away from your kids is egregious. It is a huge red flag, and it shows
Absolutely.
It shows complete, lack of accountability, responsibility, and it's not a woman that you would want to deal with. It's not a woman that I would want to deal with. Now, the only exception to a situation like this is we'd have to inquire the circumference of her ass. Okay, because depending on how big this woman's ass is, I may be willing to overlook a small oversight like some extra forgotten kids. It's not that.
Why did a physical attribute have to come into any part of this equation, other than the fact that it's toxic no matter what way you look at it?
I'm just saying, Miss Bill, have you ever seen ass? It's amazing.
I've seen a lot of men be asses, but yeah.
But have you ever just been out on a nice summer day and just walking in the park and just minding your own business, enjoying the earth, God's creation, and just all the beautiful things?
Yeah, I've appreciated a good chunk of butt from a man. Yeah.
No, we're not talking man butt. Nobody wants man butt. Well, never mind. But anyway, we're talking about the beautiful curvature of a woman as she just strides so nonchalantly in a sundress, and the wind is just blowing and it's fraying to and fro. You just see that silhouette and that outline. It's
Okay,
just like,
now you're talking lust. You're not even on the level of
oh,
love. So
no,
so
my
you
bad. I
you
didn't.
you're
Okay,
straying you're
yeah, yeah,
straying
yeah.
from the dialogue of
You're right. I deviated from the topic, but no, seriously though, I would not entertain the company of a woman who's willing to throw away her
and that's
kids
my point. And
because this
that's
is.
where it's toxic. She's avoiding commitment to her own children in order to get huddled up with, a piece of whatever. I mean, he could be good, whatever, but just the fact that she's walking away from her commitment, that's toxic.
Okay. But so I mean, but in a situation like that,
And men have done it too, and I mean this on both levels too, because there are plenty of men who have walked away from their families and said, "I can't do this commitment," and turned around and have had a second, third family.
that's never happened ever in life.
Oh, you full of crap.
I refuse to
I'm trying
believe
to
that.
keep this PG.
Miss
Huh?
Bell, you've been cussing all call. I'm just trying to keep it PG.
I,
Uh,
I'll do it in the Discord, not in here. I'll try to keep it PG in here.
but um, a man would never ever do such a. You would be hard pressed to find me proof of any man in history that has ever done such a thing. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Dang, I don't have enough time for all the paperwork I could bring you on your desk. You would need truckloads and truckloads of.
Well, when you have the
Why do you
documentation,
think they're called
you
baby
can bring it
daddies
to
and
my
not
station.
husbands?
Well, because
Okay,
they.
if you want a good example, I mean a poor example of a good example would be Mariah Carey's ex,
Which one?
the one that she had the twins with, Nick Cannon. Sorry, it took me a second. Is it 12 and more children he's had, and all of them are baby mamas?
Are those children being taken care of?
By the mother,
How so?
full time.
Is she paying for it? Is she
Financially, no, but she's the
okay?
caretaker.
So
She's the full-time caretaker.
let's not discount how much easier it is to be a full time caretaker when your expenses are taken care of. So I'm not gonna dismiss like she's just the only one. It's still a mutual thing. It's no different than say the daddy is a trill and a trucking out on the road all the time so that his family can have nice accommodations at home. Like many men who work construction, they go and they travel to these turnarounds. They're gone for months at a time, working 7/12s, working 13, 14 days straight without a break, so that they can accommodate the lifestyle that their family wants.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is it's him having multiple partners with multiple children in one specific time frame.
but what does that mean? Are they all taken care of? If they're all being properly taken care of, they're not suffering. If he's not reneging on any debts, if
Okay,
he is supplying them
okay,
their
wait a minute.
needs,
Let's
there are
go back
people
to
that
before.
are nuclear families that are struggling and doing worse
Okay,
than him, and they're having more kids. So if he's taking care of
okay.
his kids
I'm
and his
not
family,
disagreeing with you
I'm
on
not
that, but
against it.
I'm going to come back to something that the guys have said about the fact of not having a man in the house makes a difference. Now, I'm not saying any of these women don't have their own side pieces because I have no idea who they are. But the point is this is something that we talked about as traditional husbands and wives and families situations. Now, so you're going to back yourself up by saying that because they're financially being taken care of by Nick, but he's going to put name tags on them to remember who they are?
What? You're saying that Nick Cannon doesn't know his children? Are you saying black men don't know their kids, Miss
You have
Bell?
said it. Several people have said it in this
I've never.
den, and I was horrified by that. That's why I remembered it.
I would never insinuate that Nick Cannon would ever not have a close personal connection with each and every single one of his children. And it's different with Nick Cannon because, see, this is the difference between Nick Cannon and most people. They can watch their daddy on TV, so he's always there. They can record episodes of whatever show he's on, so daddy's always there. So it's different.
Well, we won't
Than
find
other
out for about 20 years how that science experiment went.
Here's my thing, though. Again, like I said, I'm being facetious about it. Like, yeah, I
Again,
definitely you
we're
have to
both
have
kind of veering off the path
you
of
have to
love of
have
what
an
we were
intimate,
talking about.
conversation. But again, Nick Cannon, I don't, it's neither here nor there. But
Yeah, he's out of the bell curve for his situation. But in a sense, and again, I raised my children without having a man full time in the house because he was in long term care. So I get it. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't affect the love, but it does affect the raising. And it's always a missing element. And it doesn't matter, most good fathers and men who say that, one of the hardest things that it is, and I've heard more times than I care to count from men saying, is that they miss spending time with their family and their kids rather than being on a job. But you need the job in order to bring home the bacon, in order for everybody to be able to survive. So there is that catch-22. But being able to love somebody is knowing that they're going to do their job and come home like they're supposed to and be accountable and be committed to their tribe or their group or their, one people. That's love. Is no matter how hard it is getting up at 5:30 in the morning, working a 12-hour shift, coming home, doing what you got to do. As a matter of fact, one of the firefighters we were talking to yesterday, Big Mike, no, I can't remember his name. He was on Discord, and he's a firefighter. It's a tough-ass job, but he comes home and he's a partner with his wife. That's love. Those are the things that we all strive for. Is it impossible? No. But the thing is people have to be in certain places of their life for that to happen.
Is love wearing matching outfits?
Well, as somebody who had a husband that when we went to church wanted to do that, I was like, I had a problem with it because I have a twin sister, and my mother, bless her soul, she never ever dressed us alike. So me being forced to be dressed very similarly to my partner, it just is not one of my favorite things. Do I think it's a part of love? Yeah, the days I did it for him so that he could feel proud, but it's not something that made me happy. And I think that's part of what love is sometimes we do sacrifice, to know that we're loving our partner enough to give them what they want, and we may not always like it. Yeah, I don't do tracksuits. But, the fact is love is different for every person for different reasons.
So you didn't like wearing similar outfits as your husband, as your partner, as your teammate. Miss Bell, teammates wear uniforms. And if teammates don't wear the same uniform when they're in the game, how will they know that they're on the same team?
Because of the fact that we're allowed to show our differences and still find our common ground.
Can't do that while you're in the
without
game. The game
having
is on
to
the
be.
line. We got to have that. We got to have that ground found before the game. When the game is on, when the whistle blows and the ball goes, you know what I'm saying. You
Okay,
can't be froze.
if I was playing a sport, I'd have no problem with that. But a relationship is
Love
not
is a
sport.
sport.
Yes,
Love is a
yes, it's a
sport.
team. Yes, it's a team. It's a team contribution. And yes, did I think once in a while doing the Christmas pajama photos was a good idea? Yeah. Did we do it? Probably not. But I don't have to have that much togetherness with my family to not let them be individuals. And that's me loving them, knowing that they're not going to want to do that. That's respect.
I think as a mother, you're supposed to force them to do shit they don't want to. That's how you make memories.
Yeah, getting them to brush their teeth and clean their ears out and eat their spinach, those are things that you mandate. Sometimes because you don't want to do it either, that kind of helps.
Do you believe spinach gives you muscles like Popeye?
No, I believe it just gives you calcium, though, for good bones.
Okay. I don't think I have any further loving questions.
Now, we know Heidi's not going to call in. How about this? How about Gamma Girl or Illusion?
We playing popcorn in the den. Y'all don't want to play popcorn in the den. Y'all ain't about that. Y'all don't want to play popcorn in the den. Somebody has to call and somebody calls somebody else out. Who wants to play popcorn in the den? I think that's a good idea. Call somebody at Miss Bill. We'll see if they
Well, the thing is like calling them out because, like, I mean, I have no problem being first. You know that because I'll get my embarrassment out, be done with it, and I'm gone on my way. But I think some of the people that really have good point of view should be able to speak up. Now we haven't heard from 12 either.
2, 3, 4,
And
5,
Michelle,
6,
you don't
7,
need to
8,
be
9, 10.
shy. Ty, it's been a while since you've called in. Delta, how about you? Yep, I'm calling y'all out. So I'm going to leave it like that, and we'll see who is the next to respond. How's that?
It's me, Miss Bell. Well, I appreciate you getting the conversation started. The bell has been rung. So shout out to Miss Bell, and I will be hopefully seeing you for Tuesday in the den tonight.
Absolutely.
Don't go take that nap and then oversleep and then come in at the end of the
No, no,
meeting
no,
talking.
no. I took one this
Oh,
afternoon.
okay, you already took. Okay, cool. All right,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. So you're good to go. Bet. All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Miss Bell, and getting the party started.
All right, good night.
Good night. You're gonna see everybody gonna be scared. Like, God damn it. Yeah, being there, they'll be calling Miss Bell all kind of names for calling like that. Karen called me out. I can't believe it. Y'all some racist people. y'all are like the worst kind of people. I can't believe you all. Can't believe you all would just behave in such a fashion. Yo, why don't you tell me I didn't put the fucking number up, right? So y'all, there's that. 832-464-4555. 832-464-4555. You call into the den. No excuses now. I put the number up, so use it. We need to take some time, hopefully between today and tomorrow. I have to need to get a line that allows three-way calling because there have been some sideline calls for some conversations, but I just don't have the ability on this line. But by the end of the week, well, let's not say by the end of the week, by Monday at the latest, I need to start getting myself better timelines to do things. By Monday at the latest, we will have a proper and established deadline. Now that, you know, we've gotten back consistently. I just want to make sure to myself, prove to myself that, we'll be here consistently. Um, so definitely time for a Denline and all of the lovely shenanigans that come with that. So yeah, I'll be working on things, but more so this weekend with the I know the bot needs to be tweaked on a few different things. So I'll be working on that this weekend. And now I'm back doing the sauce as well. It definitely tightens the window. So easier to do it on the off day. That way. That way you don't have to, don't have to spend too much time with the bullshit. So, um, here's what's gonna happen. Right, I'm gonna tell y'all this. We'll make it like this. So we normally Houston, Texas talk. What's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to Heidi is here, I guess. Jay Lamel, Ty Baker. Let me see. Did I miss who else? I saw somebody else sliding here that I missed. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. All right. So, but yeah, if we don't, then we may to be Tuesday early. If y'all actually got scared, if y'all scared of talking about love, are you people lacking the love internally? Are you people not feeling love? All right, we'll do a quick poll. a quick poll. Yeah, tomorrow is if everything is still agreed to, man up will be there. We're gonna have a great conversation tomorrow, right? So there's that. New IG. What are you talking about? Oh, the proper social medias on what is it, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and the Twitters. You can follow on TikTok at Honcho HTX. I try to post things on those platforms before we go live. You can check the description too. All the links are in the description. Super easy. Oh, for Aspen. Oh, well, there's that too. All right. Oh, am I missing something? Have I been missing? My bad. I'm spazzing, man. Bad. I did miss a call. Oh, pardon me. I did miss a call. If you did call, please feel free to call back. My apologies. Uh, yeah, doing some nonsense. So, uh, 10 to 1, Hunter drinking pumpkin spice. I have never had pumpkin spice. I don't know what pumpkin spice uh, entails, or if I have, I definitely don't recall. But I don't think I've ever had it. And I'm not eager or interested or slightly curious to try it. So, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is Dee the Gamma.
D the Gam. Phi Slammer Gamma. How are you doing this evening, Miss D the Gamma?
I'm all right. How are you today, Hancho? Well, tonight.
Life is good, Miss D the Gamma. I'm excited for To Be Tuesday and what ratchetness that may entail. I'm just good. I'm in here with the den folk. I have no complaints. So life is good. How are you? How is life treating Miss D the
I am doing okay. I woke up early this morning, kind of under the weather,
Gamma?
so I'm not 100%, but I'm feeling okay. I'm making it do what it do.
All right. So let's talk about love, right? What is love to you, Miss D the Gamma? What does love entail?
Well, I don't know if you saw my post in the chat earlier, but I quote the great poet Snoop Doggy Dogg is you don't love them hoes. I don't believe in love like I used to.
Mm,
Honestly,
mm, mm.
I don't. Um, I don't know if it's I'm jaded or what. I could be, but I don't know. I don't have the same feeling about love and relationships as I did when I was younger.
Why is that?
I think a lot of it has to do with the state of relationships now and how people date now. And I think everyone is out for self gain. People don't consider other people's feelings anymore, and it just makes it hard. I just feel like everybody's out to play a fucking game. Excuse my French, but out to play a game instead of being real and giving truly what they are looking for in someone else. They just don't do it nowadays. It's all just a big old game. If they're not getting something monetary, sexual, or what have you in return, they're not really putting the effort forth to doing anything.
So you feel like everybody's just using everybody. You don't think there
Yeah,
are people on the other side who feel the way that you feel?
It could be. It could be. But I have run across them.
What if they right in front of your face and you just don't know it? What if there are men that are all around you that would be very good men to you and would be willing to, but you just don't know it? How would that make you feel?
It would take them to approach me and really be authentic and true and real about what they say and do to make me believe it. Because otherwise, it's going to be, I'm not going to really believe it.
So, what would it take for you to truly believe in love again?
For somebody to show me something different than what I've already seen, and I mean, I've seen a lot. So, um, at this point, not to sound bad, but it would take God Himself to tap me on my shoulder and be like, He's the one.
And you still wouldn't listen. That's how women be.
I
Women,
would. I
mm,
would. I
mm,
would. Yes, I would. If I got a clear
God,
picture and a
God could tap
warm and
you on the
sign,
shoulder. He can send you an email, send you a text message. He gonna add you on Facebook, all that, and trying to tell you, hit you every good. You go, "Well, but he ain't look the way I want him to." And so you gonna turn him down. That's how y'all women do. You give him like a week or two, and you're like, he don't look right. He don't like this. He don't do this. There's a lot of very good dudes out there, but y'all don't be liking them because they don't fit the mold. Y'all don't be giving some good dudes a chance, and But I think that there are. I don't think you should ever give up. Like I said, I believe love is a gamble, and I think that you roll the dice till you get it right. Because if you do get it right, I think that it is truly worthwhile. I mean, if you've seen those couples who are truly in love, I mean, there are motherfuckers who have been together since. And I'm not saying everywhere. Some couples just stay together because they stay together, but there are some couples you see that are old as hell and still madly in love. I don't know what the secret is. I wish they could sell that shit because that shit is just definitely lacking these days. But obviously, it has to be like winning the lottery, right? So you gamble, you roll the dice. Matter of fact, make sure y'all play the lottery tomorrow so I can win some of y'all's money too because I'm gonna win that bitch tomorrow. Um, but yeah, so I think you got to keep gambling. That's the whole thing.
well, I do know, like, one of my aunts and uncles, um, they've been happily married 50 plus years, I know, uh, probably longer than that. But I think what works for them is both of them are into the church. They both have a real strong faith. So I think that helps them, you know, stay together and have lasted so long, but I mean, people, myself included, I know I have issues, things that I don't like, and I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm fully aware of that.
What
But
issues do
if
you have, Diva
I'm
Gamble?
trying to be, what's that?
I said, what issues do you have?
Well, I can get a little testy sometimes. I don't know if you've seen it, but you know, if somebody rubs me the wrong way, I have a mouth on me. Because I mean, I grew up fighting my whole life, so that's party. But I am older, so I do know how to switch it now. But don't mistake it; it's not gone. It's just I know how to hide it now.
But why do you need to hide it? Why you can't put it away for good?
I, because I mean, it's not something that I like about myself. Because I know that I can go from 0 to 100.
So why don't you cut it
I
off?
don't
Why
do
don't you just cut it off permanently? Just say, you know what, I'm tired of. I'm tired of this behavior. You know what it is? It doesn't suit me. It doesn't, serve me. I'm gonna just cut it off. I'm gonna stop doing it.
Hmm. Well, I mean, like I said, I've grown a lot. I know how to control it now,
Mhm.
for the most part. For the most part. Yeah, I mean, I
Do
don't
you
know,
do you
but
do,
I
do you
say
think
that.
that has
Hmm?
deterred relationships for you?
Mm-mm.
You don't
No,
think
I
so?
don't think so. Because like when I'm in a relationship with somebody, I give them, respect. I off the top, I'm like, you know what, this is me. I don't like you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. If you feel like you gotta be that kind of person to raise your voice or talk any kind of way, this ain't gonna work. Cause I'm not that chick. It's not gonna end right. So I do let people know that,
How do
but
people respond when you say
no,
that?
they be like, they understand. Like they don't want to be talked too crazy either, and they be like, okay, we cool.
Miss Bell mentioned
It's
something
just
earlier, a term. She said toxic love. Do you think that that's a thing?
toxic.
Toxic love, yes, ma'am.
Uh, I think I have toxic love.
No,
I
so
missed the
do you think
question.
that toxic love is a thing?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
How would you define toxic love?
Definitely. Um, you staying in a relationship, both parties are not really. Let me see how comes. Okay, you're in a relationship with somebody, and both parties are probably doing things that they shouldn't be doing to each other, and neither one of them is coming up with a solution to resolve it, and they keep doing the same thing over and over again, and no one's leaving the situation, and they continue it, you know,
Why,
and it constantly goes on. I think that's toxic love.
why don't you think they leave?
Hmm?
So why don't you think they leave? If they know they're doing things
I'm
to each other that are harmful, that are detrimental, why don't you think they leave? Why can't they leave each other alone?
um afraid to be alone.
Hmm.
Afraid to be alone. And it's like people don't want to leave a relationship because they feel like maybe they'll never find another relationship or nobody else will want them, so they're ready to just stick with a bad situation versus being by themselves. And I'm not that that way. I'd rather by myself than be in a toxic relationship with anybody.
So you can do bad all by yourself.
That's it. That's exactly it. Because I'm not fighting. I don't believe in that. Cursing me out, calling me out my name. I'm not going to call you out your name. The cheating and all of that kind of stuff. If you got to sleep with another woman, then why are you with me? Like, move around,
But what if it's not
you
always about
know.
see that's where y'all women that's where y'all get it wrong, right? With men, it's not about that. Yeah, it doesn't equate to that. It's do you believe that someone can cheat and still love somebody that they're with?
I honestly don't see how. If you love somebody, you wouldn't want to do something to hurt them.
But do you think that when
And
someone is
I'm
cheating,
sure
someone is trying to hurt someone else, or they're trying to fulfill their own pleasure?
they're fulfilling their own needs, but they're not thinking about their partner at the time that they're doing the cheating.
Yeah, okay. But but to me to put it like that, they're moving with intention to deliberately hurt someone. It's not the case. They're fulfilling some form of satisfaction. And I'm not saying that it's justified, but I think if we're thinking about the mindset that someone is in at the time of them committing an infidelity, or committing infidelity, is you got to take it into account, right? We're just being realistic. It's not that I'm thinking negatively of my partner, or I don't know. It could be a situation like, man, this bitch be bitching. I just need some relief, or I just need to be stress free, or who knows. But just because you need to get a little strange on the side, don't mean that he don't want you to be his bride.
Right. I
So
mean,
I
if
mean, he can
y'all have
still love you.
that understanding,
But I'm saying,
if
even if
y'all
you
have
don't
that
have that,
understanding
but
that
even if you
this
don't
is
have that
what
understanding, he can't just go out and get him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just to, maybe to
mm,
upgrade his moves.
mm,
He might really want to step out,
mm, mm,
to upgrade his operating system, and then bring home, the new upgraded programs to you, so he can show you some new moves, teach you a couple of new things that you
mm.
might like. He can go get the trial program, bam, you like it, you bring it out, bam, you got the full program. You want to leave the viruses out there, but you bring the programs, bam, it's really for you.
But what about how? Okay, to flip that. Okay, he go out there and do that. Then she turn around and do the same thing. He got a problem because she went and
No, it's
slept with
not the
another
same thing,
man.
Gamma. See, that's where you're wrong. It's
But
not the same damn thing. See, that's where y'all always trying
it
to equate man to
it
woman
is,
cheat. It's
Honcho.
not the
It
same thing. There
is.
are levels to this. There are deep layers and levels to cheating, right? Men cheat on the first layer of the onion. It's just on the outside. Which if you got a okay, let me put it like this, because there
No.
are different cheating. See, we have to do a show on cheating. All this cheating talk we've been doing. Um, there are different types of cheating, right? So there is basically, most men are on the surface level cheat. See something physically appealing. Men are visual creatures. Men are conquerors. It's in the DNA to go and attack, and that's just what it is. We don't have spears and jungles anymore to go out and just hunt for the food like that. So sometimes the method of hunting down prey may be a different way. See, but with women, right?
Um,
They peel a few layers deep into the onion, almost to the what they call the bulb, or it is the bulb, whatever it is. They peel several layers deep, right? Because with women, the cheating is emotional. It's not physical, right? It's not physical. It's emotional. And so what women do is nest one relationship inside of another, right? And that's despicable. That's way worse than me saying, "Hey, I love my woman at home. I want to protect her, and I care about her. I'm still going to do all the things I do, but I have this nature inside of me that sees this this beautiful fine thing just looking like a just Bambi mama in the forest, and I'm looking like Simba grown up Lion King. I just got attacked. You know what I'm saying? It's in me. I can't help it, right? It's in me. You ain't got a growling. Y'all ain't got the growling. Y'all, it ain't in y'all. Y'all supposed to be laid under the shade tree or whatever the women line be doing. But you know what I'm saying? But or y'all the Bambies, y'all ain't even the women. Like, y'all supposed to be the Bambies. Y'all supposed to be getting her. So it's like you can't help this. It's in us. So we're y'all be taking it too far. Y'all go find a whole motherfucker to fall in love with, and then be like, you start getting mad doing weird shit at the house, and then y'all start fucking up. Men, they go out, they cheat, they learn new moves, they bring it back to the old lady, they please the old lady more, and it all works out for everybody. Women cheat and they just fuck up households. So no, it's not the same.
do you think it's okay for a man to go out there if he has a good woman and she's
What
doing
is a good
X, Y,
woman?
Z?
What define a good woman, Miss Dita? What is a
I'm
good
talking
woman?
about, okay, that she is everything that you as a man want in your partner. She, whatever that is. Like if she cooks, she cleans, she puts it down the way you like it, flip it, work, all that. You mean to tell me it's okay for a man to still go out there through somebody else when he got this woman at home doing everything that supposedly he's looking for?
I'm gonna do y'all ladies the way y'all do us, right? Because it's more so often that women will have the man that's quote unquote everything that they're looking for and cheat than a man will have the woman that's quote unquote everything that she's looking for. Because in reality, if a woman checks off every single possible box that a man has, which is probably going to be impossible, um, then no, he's probably not going to do much seeking because then he's hunting down lesser quality prey. Every usually, and I can be wrong. Sometimes it's just the sight of some new height, but usually you gonna hunt something with an interesting feature or something that you know some people may call fetishize, something you may have a preference for. But if she checks all those boxes, has all those things, then no, you're not. But that never happens, right? But more often than not, you see these quote unquote athletes and these groupies and whatever women they're with that they still go out and philander. The man has money, the man's tall, he's rich, famous, handsome, all these other things, but they still step out. He protects, provides, he's doing everything, right? She ain't got to lift a finger. You know, there are rich men's wives who are out sleeping with the pool boy every day. You know what I mean? The man is doing everything that needs to be done that a man should do. You know, so why do women do it?
Yeah, I mean, I get where you come from. A lot of women cheat too, but I don't know. Just coming from a woman's perspective, 9 times out of 10, if a woman is cheating on her man, not, but you don't believe he did something to her
Why does that?
to make
Oh
her
my
want
God! No,
him.
stop that, Dita Gamma. Stop.
I
Stop.
promise.
No,
I
it's
promise.
not.
He
Okay,
has
well then,
hurt
and then
her
yeah,
in
if
some
that's the
way.
case, and no,
He has
it's see,
hurt
but
her in some
no,
way.
it ain't no hurt. Is he's boring, or he don't do this, or he don't like. Bitches be cheating because they're bored. They don't be cheating because he's just psychologically abusing me. They use that goofy shit as an excuse. The bitches go on girls trip to go cheat. They got all their hoes there to cover for them. They getting ran through, gang bang, and slutted out, and all that other shit. And them hoes come home and lie. But women are way worse than men will ever be.
Well,
But y'all
I'm not a
have the
cheater. I don't
society.
know. I,
Society gives y'all this shroud of decency that y'all don't be deserving. Y'all are way worse than men. Like again, civilizations have fallen because of women. Like that y'all again. It's shenanigans and tomfoolery. The women folk are the problems in this scenario, hands down. It's not even close.
we gotta agree with this girl that
No,
I'm
oh
not
no,
a
we
cheater. I don't know. But I'm just saying, from what I've seen,
you
most
know a
of the
cheater.
time.
You friends with a cheater.
Oh yeah, 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 my best friend. But that has nothing to do with me.
Okay, so have you been in the presence of your best friend and their significant other knowing that your best friend be out there cheating?
Yeah,
You're a cheater.
yep.
You're a cheater.
Not me
You're
cheating.
a cheater. You're a cheater. You're an assistant cheater. You assisting in the cheat. You getting the cheat assist in your stat card, and the game is over. When she didn't, whatever game she didn't ran that night, she didn't ran, up and down the court for 48 minutes. She probably got hooped in a couple of times. She hit a couple of threes, whatever. At the end of the stat line, you gonna be the point guard with all the assistant cheats. You know what I'm saying? Because you dishing it off. You are just
Why
as
I
guilty.
don't do nothing?
You see it.
No,
Yeah, you
because
do.
know
You
I
see it.
know the situation.
You know the
I
situation.
I know the
Okay, so
situation.
what is the situation? You don't have to say no name. You don't have to say too, but what is the situation? We're gonna justify if this is a valid situation because I don't believe that this is a valid situation. Matter of fact, I feel like when you tell me this situation, you're gonna embellish this situation so that it sounds worse than it really is.
No,
Okay,
I'm not.
okay, what's going
I'm
on?
honestly not.
Okay,
He cheated on her first, and she forgave him.
uh huh.
They stayed together,
Mm-hmm.
and worked they marriage and everything. And I think she just got, from what she's told me, that he stopped really pleasing her after his infidelity.
Oh, you
So
can't
she
fuck.
just basically needed somebody to get her off. That's the whole reason why she did it.
No, that's it still. No, but I mean, then she needs to tell her husband how to properly please her. Had a discussion with him. Then, because instead of going outside and see if you really truly trying to make it work, again, two wrongs don't make a right. So if the man is wrong first, then you got to call it a night. You just got to sit your ass down and take that L. That's just how it works. Now, if a woman commits the wrong first,
It don't work like
if a
that.
woman
Women want to
if
get
a
their
woman commits the wrong first, by God, that shit's 10 times worse. So that's all I'm trying to tell you is that you gotta listen to the riddles and the rhymes. So they tell you how it falls in line. So I'm just saying, like, y'all should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. I didn't know you was an assistant cheater. I thought you was a kind and wholesome soul. You always came across to me as an upright citizen of America. The only flaw I had with you is that you be in Tennessee, and we know Tennessee people are contaminated. But other than that, you was cool with me. You was cool with me, and then
but
you
no.
I thought it was better than that.
Listen, that if I was friends with him, then definitely I would have, but I don't have a loyalty to him because he's not my friend.
So here's the thing. If your friend would cheat on their significant other, would they cheat on you?
Do what now?
If your friend would cheat on their significant other, would they cheat on you?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they would, but I don't date women, so
I'm not saying that's not
there's
but that's not the context I'm mentioning it in. So what I'm saying is they can be dishonest with someone that they're sharing their home and body with, that they're supposed to be sharing their most intimate secrets and things with. Do you feel like they could be dishonest towards you as well?
Yes, I do.
So don't you have to question the integrity of somebody who is a cheater?
Yes, I do. Here again, that's something that she chose to do, and me and her friend did keep her secret because that's my friend. Did I approve of it? No, but she's wrong. Am I going to tell her not to give her stuff to somebody she want to give it to? That has nothing to do with me.
Good friend would have said, no, keep the cobwebs on that coochie girl. He going to come around. Instead, you encouraged her to go out there and philander her body about town with these unknown strangers.
No, I didn't.
And put her life at risk.
Nope.
And doing God knows what.
Nope.
You should be ashamed.
I found out about it after the fact. She told me after the fact. What am I gonna do? Like I'm not gonna tell her husband and get her put out of house. And what am I gonna do for I kept her secret? Yeah, but I didn't approve of it. I wish she hadn't done it, But here again, that was her decision, not mine. But it don't make me dislike her or want to not be around her, because outside of that, she's a wonderful person. She just wanted to have sex. She wanted some good sex.
See, women don't need to be having sex. No, they don't need to be doing that shit. See, that's the problem with y'all. See, that's why America fucked up now, because y'all out there having sex and shit. If y'all would just behave, we wouldn't be having these issues. But there y'all go again, just wilding out. So this is why we gotta have these conversations every night and then. I gotta keep saying it. I gotta keep reiterating these things because y'all just don't want to listen. It's a shame, but here we are again. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But no, I am a good wholesome person. I am. I can't speak for nobody else.
I'll judge you on that situation.
I am myself. That's all I get. I will get off here because somebody else probably will call in before we get out of here.
Right. Are you gonna be down? You gonna be in there Tuesday tonight?
I am.
All right, I'm be looking for. We're gonna finish this conversation later because I'm just so disappointed right now. I can't believe the things I've heard in my ears this evening
Don't
from
be
you.
disappointed.
D stands for disappointment. That's what the D and D together stand for right now. Disappointment. I can't believe.
Don't do that.
Mm.
Don't do that. Okay.
All right, fine, Slim
All
together.
right,
I
Hunter.
appreciate you calling in this evening, man. You have a
Oh,
good
okay.
evening. Yeah. See what I am? I'm embezzling all the pistachios. Every time y'all win pistachios, I just put more on my account. But it makes y'all feel good though, right? So that's how it works. If you don't know, Discord link is at the top of the screen. We will be doing Tubi Tuesday tonight. If you don't know what Tubi Tuesday is, we pick a movie off of Tubi, a Tubi exclusive. We watch it together in the Discord and we comment on the various aspects of it. It is pure comedy. It is very, very fun. So make sure you are there. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Oh, I figured I'd definitely do an encore this evening with all that ration of Texas-sized cow pies that I saw you passing out earlier, or heard you passing out earlier.
Texas-sized cow pies. Could you please clarify what you mean by this, Miss Bell?
There was so much bullshit in some of the conversation that you were talking about. As far as I'm concerned, from my experience, it's wrong for either partner to cheat. But what I have found in my experience is that a person in love will not bother cheating. A person who loves somebody but they're not in love with them will have a roving eye and not care if they have a passing dalliance or not. But if a man or a woman is in love with their partner, they don't seek anything elsewhere. So for all the bravado and all the bullshit, it really comes down to whether they're in love or whether or not they love each other.
I don't know.
And I don't know whether you've experienced it, but long-term couples go from periods of being in love and not being in love and choosing whether to work on getting it back to that or not.
I'm saying, this is how you fix it, right? Anytime you have a gap of not being in love, just let the man go out, do his thing. You, as a woman, you hold it down. Just hold the fort down. It won't take long. He'll be back. He'll be refreshed. He'll be better than ever. He'll love you more than he ever has. This is a scientific fact. This is proven, right? And you just don't mention it.
You want to get me the journals on that one?
Yeah, I'll look it up. I got the studies. I got them on a USB drive somewhere. I'll find it one day and I'll share it with you.
I would be curious, actually.
Yeah, I mean, when a man goes out and he has to, wet his whistle a little bit, and he comes home to a loving wife, and maybe a well-made dinner and or breakfast, he's a better man.
Yeah, you're coming a little across Stepford, though.
What?
You're coming across a little bit Stepford. Do you know what that means?
No. I'm not.
Stepford wives mean that they stay in place. They have their aprons perfect. They have their hair coiffed. They have their children in the right outfits, and everything goes along according to plan. It's not specifically white, black, Asian, Jewish, Baptist, whatever. It's the fact that it's falling into line in women being traditional and men being their tradition.
I don't know any black women with the last name Stepford.
No, it's a type of, I don't know how to explain it. It's a personality type more than it is anything else, I'd say. It means that they toe the line, they do what they're supposed to do in a traditional husband-wife relationship, and it looks perfect, but it doesn't mean it's always perfect on the inside. It just means to the outside it looks like it's perfect.
So basically,
so you
she
think
doesn't
that,
get out of line,
and I guess I have to ask
image?
this. So no, I guess I have to ask this. So you think that if a man went out and took his, as we say, hall pass and got to use it, and the woman was in love with the husband or the partner, that she wouldn't be heartbroken, but yet he would be okay? That's not taking the
she
team's...
shouldn't be. She shouldn't be heartbroken. Why? If she truly loves that man, she's going to do what's best
Wait
for
a
him.
minute. Whoa. This is exactly what we were talking about, unconditional love, and we were talking about conditions
Men
of
don't
love
get
within
unconditional love.
relationships. Women don't either.
Yes, they do. Absolutely,
because
they do.
you just said to me, if a woman was not in love with her husband and he wasn't satisfying her, if she stepped out, he would instantly divorce her.
But
so
she should.
what's the difference?
She should, though.
And so you mean to tell me that if he had this hall pass...
But he's still going to love her, but she hurt him. He just can't be with her because he cannot take that hurt again.
You don't think trust is part of love?
No. But see, this is the thing, though. See, y'all got it mixed up. And what I'm saying is, see, women have men's cheating. Y'all give men cheating too much weight, right? Like you. I don't think y'all get it. Like y'all give it way too much weight.
It's not the fact that we don't. No. It's not the fact that we don't give it too much weight. It's the fact that we as women don't feel taken seriously enough about our part in the relationship.
What is y'all's part? Look, I mean, the man should think about it. Come on, let's be honest, ladies. Let's be honest, right? So a man steps out and cheats. A man has to do all the work pretty much in sex anyway. So it's not like you should feel any particular kind of way. I mean, all y'all kind of got to do is get adjusted. You know what I'm saying? Get this way, get that way. Put your leg here. And it was like, and I have to control it. So like the man has to do all the work anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, wait a minute. And I'm going to get real ugly with you in a minute because you're not going to like where I'm going with this. You're absolutely right. In the beginning of a relationship, the man has all the work.
Mm-hmm.
But if a husband and wife have spent 40 or 50 years together, she's going to be the one that's changing his pampers. She's going to be the one that's spoon-feeding him applesauce because he's got no teeth. She's going to be the one that's by his side making sure and doing all the work that he's going to his doctor's appointment and doing what he has to do. So, yeah, you guys might have a lot of work in the beginning, but in the end, the women most of the time take care of the men. We don't just dump you in nursing homes where most men dump women in nursing homes. So let's talk about what's fair play here, because that's all part of that. We look at long term. We look at long term, whereas men look at what's the next piece of action. And if you're in a committed relationship and you're looking at the teamwork, then you're looking at a little bit more long term than, hey, let me get this hall pass going.
But listen, just hear me out. Do you know why most men leave their wives in nursing homes?
Part of it is because they just don't want to do the work.
No. It's revenge for all that nagging over all them years, all that nagging about nothing, making a big deal about nothing. The man's just trying to, I just want to watch the game. You didn't take the trash out on Tuesday, and we missed the trash truck. That's some shit like that. And then, just nagging for no reason all the time. And so it's just like, I don't got much time left.
So that she's got to go up and over in order to get the attention that she's feeling like she needs in order to get shit done between the two of them, and him avoiding her because she's a football widow or hockey widow or soccer widow.
What is this? Hold on. What is a football widow? What is a hockey widow? Let's conversate.
It's a sports term used among the seasons where the respective husband is in front of the big flat screen watching whatever sports agenda is going on, whether it's ESPN
or... Your job as a woman is to sit there by his side, root for his team, make sure his beer is full, make sure he has his popcorn, fresh sandwiches, fresh chicken wings, whatever he needs, so he does not have to divert. Matter of fact, if he needs a bedpan so he doesn't have to get up and go to the restroom to miss a play, you should be willing to provide that for him on sports day.
And been there, done that.
Well, not in that context. I'm talking about...
However... He roots for Navy and I root for Army, so that's about the only difference we have.
What? I don't think I've ever met anybody who roots for Navy and Army, but okay.
Yeah, he was in the Navy, and I've always voted Army, so. But did I do all those things? Yeah, I did. Did I feel taken for granted at times? Did I know that he loved me? Yeah. But if he had stepped out on me, that would have been the end of it.
Okay.
Because I put all of me into our family, and to see him give that energy and that extra to a side piece, oh,
But
hell to the
is
fucking
he
no.
giving energy and extra to a side piece? If he's just pumping and dumping, he's not spending extra time and or money other than maybe the cost of a hourly hotel, something like that. The number 7 from McDonald's, something like that. Real low maintenance. And he's just going to get his rocks off, and say he's had a hard day at work, right? Say just stressful, just life comes at you fucking fast sometimes, right? Especially in your man. So you just had this stressed out day. You got to go home to the wife and kids. You love your wife. She has been there for you through the tough times when you had nothing. Y'all built this life together. You have a beautiful family. You've amassed so much, but sometimes, she just don't do that thing she used to do anymore. She don't, and sometimes
I just can't excuse the behavior, Honcho.
but it's that's the problem. You're worried
And
about the
that's the thing. You want to pass. You wanted
behavior.
to.
The
It
behavior
is the
is
behavior. It's a
no.
choice.
No,
No,
it's
the
not a
husband
choice.
makes a choice in the
It's not a choice.
partnership in order to take it outside of where it needs to be. And if you're part of a tribe and you step out, believe me, it doesn't go unnoticed, and that affects the whole unit.
This is terrible. You can't tell women how you feel, either, Gamma. See, that's something y'all be doing. Y'all be talking about, be honest. Be honest with me. Tell me
I
how
am
you
being
feel.
honest.
And then you tell her how you feel. Why you gotta be like that? What's wrong with you? Oh, I know you can't be honest with me. Y'all are like women. Dealing with women is like dealing with what's that thing? It's like a walking, talking, eating Rubik's Cube, right? And you got to walk with this Rubik's Cube. You got to be steadily like shifting it, trying to get it all together. And then what happens, like as soon as you get the Rubik's Cube all together and all the colors are matching, it's acting right, looking right, and acting right, that lasts for about 15 seconds. And then the Rubik's Cube just automatically reshifts itself. And you got to do it all over again. That's what dealing with modern women are like. See, y'all don't
So
understand
we're
it because
such
y'all
an
don't have to deal with
enigma
each
that
other.
you can't have the attention span in order to stay with it long term.
Why? Is it worth it? That's the thing. See, and just like I asked Miss D the Gamma, what is a good woman, Miss Bell? Can you define what a good woman means to you?
A good woman honestly puts her best effort forward in the relationship. Whether she cooks, whether she brings an income in, whether she's childcare, whether she's a team player. Sometimes that means taking out the trash. Sometimes it means taking the car to the shop for an oil change. It means staying on the road and being a partner to your mate. Yeah, you must be getting ready for the movie, cuz.
No. So, what if her best effort ain't worth the fuck? Does that still make her a good woman?
That's your devaluing what she
No,
brings
no,
to the table.
no,
That has
no, no,
nothing
no,
to do
no,
with
no, no, Miss Bell.
whether she's a good woman.
Let's deal in reality right now. There are some women who are not worth the fuck. Just like we easily acknowledge all the time, and it's never a hesitance to say there are some men who are absolutely not worth the fuck. I've been a man who hasn't been worth the fuck at a point in time in my life. I have no problem admitting that. I've been a shitty person. I've been a good but shitty person. So there's no problem. We seem to have an issue in the den when it comes to addressing. It's always, oh, you guys are always bashing, but it's not the case. It's just that we
Wait a
have an
minute.
issue.
Hold on. You
I'm
asked
asking,
me the question of
yeah,
what was a good woman.
yeah, and then I said, what
Now,
if her?
the
You said,
example that you gave
mm-hmm,
was downgrading what you thought a good woman
no, no,
was.
no.
And so
You
that
told me.
completely nullified.
You said what? Oh, you said your definition was a woman who puts forth her best effort in a relationship, right? And I said,
And how.
what if her best effort isn't good enough? So a best for
Okay,
the
that
best
does.
for Tom Brady ain't gonna be the same best for me. There's different levels of best. So There's some
I
motherfuckers
get it.
who do bare minimum, and they think bare minimum is their best because that's all they've ever been trained to do. They don't know how to.
But
So
that's on
that,
an indivial level.
but
That's not
that's
an across the board
but we're
general
talking about what makes
situation.
a good woman, not what makes every woman. So we're talking about an individual woman, a good woman, and she gives her best, and her best ain't really worth the fuck. Does that make her a good woman?
For him, no, it wouldn't be. Or for her, I mean, for the partner, it would not be. However, it's it's the two people that actually click and it works for them makes the best scenario. That's the thing, though, is that you're bringing all these conjectures up of, well, if she wasn't as good for him as he was for her,
But
and
see, this is funny that I'm bringing. Every time we have these conversations, y'all know you go to. Well, the man must have did something. It's when we talk about men and when something bad happens to the
no,
man, it's always the
there's no
man must have
blame on
done
the men
something.
here.
Oh, there's always maybe not in this particular, but every so now when I reverse it and I apply it slightly to the women, y'all start getting flustered. Why do y'all get flustered?
Okay, we get flustered when and as Data Gamma just said it, when you try to negotiate our worth because of what you want. Now, men's
That's
want is whimsical because from day to day, they might want meatloaf one day, and the next day they might want ribs. Sometimes you never know what your partner wants until you ask. And then when you hear, I don't know, and we're supposed to read minds, and then they ignore you, communication isn't the best coming from the other side received. But yet, we're the ones that aren't the best in the relationship.
now we all know when it comes to men and women who the poor communicators tend to be. You
Men.
ask a woman what's wrong. Now she'll be piping mad. You can see it in her face. And you ask her, hey, baby, what's wrong? Nothing. The women don't communicate. They store shit up and they expect men to be the mind. This what the last little bit of what you said has been misapplied.
Oh, you
Because
take an occasional pout and
no,
arms
well,
crossing
stop.
as
The
a
women
normal
do
chain
this. Who
reaction.
pouts more, men or women?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of men pout.
So you haven't seen a lot of women pout? You haven't seen more women
Yeah, I've
pout.
seen a lot of women pout.
Women
They
pout
tend
when
to
they don't
whine
get
more
their
than
way.
pout, but yes.
Men tend to take more action when they don't get their way. Women
And men
tend to
can get
pout.
whiny and they can get physically brutal too. So,
Okay, so that's taking action, being physically brutal. I didn't say it was going to be a good action.
but action doesn't mean communication. It just means anger and aggression.
No, action doesn't mean anger and aggression. Action just means doing something about the situation. So,
no, if he's popping off and being physically abusive,
where
yeah, it
did we
does.
get to physically abuse? We just said action. And action is now physical
Okay,
abuse.
well, if he cleaned the table off, yes, that would be an action. If he set all the accoutrements that were on the table onto the floor because he was pissed, that was an action. Yeah, that's not so good. So, I mean, it depends on what you're bringing into the positive or the negative of it as well. And it's how two people feed off of each other is generally whether or not you're going to find they have a toxic relationship. The other thing that keeps people in toxic relationships is financial entanglement, where neither one of them can afford to be on their own without being less than they were as a couple. And so they're forced to stay together, which makes both of them miserable once they've no longer agreed to be in a relationship.
Well, why don't she go out and get a better job?
Sometimes it's not always that. Sometimes it's a situation where, like, say they have a special needs child and somebody has to stay home, or he gets laid off because it's wintertime and he's seasonal. I mean, there's all sorts of financial struggles that happen to couples. It's how you make it through and how you communicate and how you give leniency to the other one, knowing that you're both going through it. It's partnering together through the rough times. That's love. Liking somebody and being in love with somebody are all. Being in love is all hormonal. Your hormones are being attracted to that other person. When you love somebody and you're in love with someone, when you love someone and you're committed to the relationship, that's completely different than being infatuated or being in love with somebody.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt. Baby, don't hurt. No more. So here's my thing.
Good song. It's definitely 90s.
Here's my
Love
thing
to
though.
me, love to me is knowing that despite how hard it is, that we're going to get through it together.
Are are modern women worth loving? Like, isn't it just easier to get a maid these days?
I think that I don't know.
I mean, you're gonna pay either way. So I mean, it's
Well,
probably
yeah,
like
you are.
it's like
No,
cheap.
no, and but the thing is though is that I think that polygamy was actually set up for men more than it ever was women, because
Should
you've
be.
got one. Well,
It,
one cooking, one cleaning, one taking care of the kids,
oh no,
one
not
taking
because
care of the
no,
man's needs,
no, not because of that. That's
and then he can go out and do his job and do what he needs to do. I mean, that's the perfect ideal situation for a man. He's got all of his wants and needs covered by
what.
four
So
different
so
women.
so you're saying a man having no stresses and worries about his home, that his children are educated,
Oh,
nurtured,
I'm
loved,
sure
and
he
taken care of,
does.
and he
I
can
mean,
go
people
out
go
into
with
the
what they can
world
afford.
and take care of the business that he needs to, and he's able to come home and sustain this life not only for himself and his children, but for however many women that are within the household. And you feel like this is a bad thing if he's able to satisfy these women and to protect and provide for all of these women. You feel like that's a bad thing?
All right, then riddle me this.
Mm-hmm.
If this man loved this woman so much, then why would he step out knowing that it could potentially ruin the whole relationship, knowing
Well,
that it
well,
would take
if
her love
this
with him,
if this
away from
woman
him?
loves this man so much, she should understand a man's nature and a man's biology, and she should be willing to accept that sometimes a man may need more. She should be willing to accept that she may have limitations in his need. He may have everything that she wants, but his sex drive may be significantly higher than hers. She may not be able to keep up. There have been situations like this before. So maybe, just
I'm sure
maybe,
there have.
he needs an additional, something to take care of that. And maybe she's okay with that, right? Uh, maybe there's like, hey, I like this other
I have a hard
domesticated
time
part.
that women are actually okay with that. I get it. I
No,
could
Miss
see
Bell, you didn't
why it
believe
would
women like getting
happen.
gangbanged. See, so look,
No, I don't.
they do. That
I
is,
will never understand
oh,
that.
Miss Bell, if I could introduce you to the dark side, I don't want to corrupt you like that because you are a good, pure ivory soul. Um, there is a whole
Not as
world of
much as
things.
you think, but just
Oh,
there's certain things I have red flags on.
yeah. Well, I'm telling you something, Miss Bell. There is, if you don't believe that women are into this multiple partnered engaging in this, especially in this day and age, especially after I took you to Pound Town, Miss Bell.
Okay, that's the thing too, is that we're in several different generations,
No,
and
we're in
that
this
makes a difference.
generation. We're in the now.
Okay,
We don't have a
yeah, you guys
DeLorean.
are in the now.
No,
What I'm saying
we're
is
all in the now. I don't want to be
you're
in the
right.
now. I want to be in the
What I'm
then.
saying is the generation that I was raised in was far more traditional and strict guidelined than it is today. It is way out in the gray, and that's part of what we've been talking about. Guidelines and stepping over boundaries and stepping, and just, you know, not having personal boundaries and space. Those are all things that we've been talking about over this last week.
All I'm
So I
saying is
guess you
that
kind of did come around to all of it.
no, no. Women are getting gangbanged out here, Miss Bell. You got to accept that fact. Once you accept that fact, you will accept the real nature of women. I don't know. I feel like y'all just have these rose-colored glasses, and y'all know all the things we say. Because every time we talk about it, so y'all know the women we talk about and act like those are. This is a significant number
Okay,
of
I'm not saying
women.
it doesn't happen. I'm
No,
just
it
saying
happens
that.
much more than you want to admit that it
Oh yeah,
happens.
no, I'm not disagreeing with you. In fact, there's been a ration or epidemic of STDs in certain states are like blowing up over the last, like, I don't know, year or so. I mean, the stats have like gone through the roof with different STDs. Can I quote anything right now? No, but I don't even remember which news media I saw it on. But I was just kind of horrified that, you know we're going through this pandemic of STDs when the fact is we've had latex around for a long time.
Man, look, ain't nobody trying to look at latex shit. Let me tell you. But, I get it. It's a good concept.
Again,
I get
I'm
I know
part
they
of
were
the
going
older
with that.
generation, so
It's
you
just
know,
not, hey, it's just not the same. It's not the same, Miss Bell.
no,
Sometimes,
it's not.
hey, you gotta risk it. Sometimes you just gotta risk it all. You gotta, what they say, no risk, no reward. You just gotta
Yeah, but
roll the
that's the
dice.
gift that keeps on giving forever. You don't ever get rid of herpes. You don't ever get rid
You
of,
seen her?
genital ward.
What? That's disgusting. Doctor said he cured herpes.
Hey, I mean, talking from somebody that worked in a nursing home,
Doctor said he cured herpes. What
you
do you
see
mean?
some shit
AIDS, all
that
that
is
stuff.
like pretty funky.
Man, you can live with that shit now. Like, they got the pills, they like, have you seen the AIDS commercials? They dancing and shit. Like, so I figure if you get
Yeah,
it,
that's
you
if the
become a
kid's
better
early
dancer.
enough.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but I've been watching the commercial. So if you get it, like, you will definitely have more rhythm. You will definitely dance
More
better.
pep
So
in your step. Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah, absolutely. I've seen the commercials. It has to
No,
be
no,
a side
and
effect.
hey, they've definitely come a long way, and I am truly happy about that because when I did start nursing, it was just before the epidemic like really hit open public. We're talking like 1989. So yeah.
Yeah, 80s were crazy.
Oh, I will say this on kind of a lasting note. One of the things that kind of scarred my eyeballs is just seeing older, very senior citizens have tattoos and how they go from when you're 20 to when you're 80. They don't end up the same. And that was one of the reasons that I've chosen not to get a tattoo for now.
Damn that, Miss Bill. You ain't living. You gotta have scars and I mean, yeah, nothing's gonna look the same when you get old. So I mean, I get that idea, but let's be honest, right? When you get older,
Now, I'm
you're
not
gonna have.
saying I don't have a picture of what I want. I'm just saying I still haven't done it yet, just because it just keeps haunting me.
Well, just do it, Miss Bill. You're overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like, you only live once. Get your
Yeah, that one I
tattoo.
do.
It's very therapeutic, and trust me, nothing's gonna look the same. Who's gonna see it anyway once it gets all old? Depending on where you put it, you know, it's a memory for you. It's not even about what anybody else thinks. Fuck whoever thinks whatever they think about it. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all look like Arby's at the end. I agree. Okay. All right. Well, anything else that you would like to add to your rebuttal, Miss
Nah,
Bell?
I'm good. No, I'm good. I like I said, I definitely have a design picked out. I got to get the cojones up to do it.
Just do it. Just, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know what your pain tolerance is like, depending on where you want to get. But I think people over exaggerate about the pain.
Oh,
They don't hurt.
the needle's not the thing that I have a problem with. It's just the fact of looking at it in 20 or 30 years after it's been done, kind of thing.
Look, you can't. You're worried about 20, 30 years in the future. Get it, and then once you get to 20, 30 years in the future, worry about it. Then I promise you're not gonna give a shit. I promise you won't
Oh,
give a shit at
sidebar.
all.
I'm kind of glad we brought this up. Did you know that okay, and I don't know if we talked about it in Discord or what, but they were talking about having the key codes with all your information on it done through, I guess, who's the one that does Microsoft? Bill Gates and his wife, their foundation was looking at doing that. And I didn't see any difference between that and what the Jews went through in the Nazi situation, being tagged and just being able to you know, run them through like a checkout machine kind of thing. I know, I see your eyes going, but I'm dead serious. There was talk about them using like a key code and stamping it on people and having all their information for medical reasons on it.
Medical reasons. I don't want to talk about it because if
Yeah,
y'all didn't, if I don't
like
want to say
medical
anything,
issues.
I don't want to say anything about medical. If y'all don't notice, yesterday's video got taken down, and they said that we were spreading medical disinformation. We were talking about the certain children who were being academically held back because of a certain
Oh
situation that took
shit.
place, and so they, I appealed and everything, and they were like, "Well, you're spreading lies about the thing. And I'm like, no, we're talking about
Actually,
how
no,
it's
that
such
was
a,
true.
yeah, but I guess they don't want you to admit anything about it. So whatever. Uh, but
Damn.
yeah, so that was food. But anyway,
Yeah, probably because I said no child left behind and slipping between the educational cracks didn't help much either.
yeah, shit on Obama all day. You just can't talk about the politics of the thing. So it is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, we'll definitely talk in the Discord about all the shenanigans and tomfoolery pertaining to that.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely.
That was pretty good back and forth tonight. And
I don't know. I don't feel the same. But I feel like you were wrong about everything, and I was right. Um, so
you go with
I'm
that.
gonna give myself an A+. I'm gonna
Sure.
give you I'm gonna say a C+, Miss Beth. I just the things you were saying this evening, I can't agree. Women are terrible people. You got to stop defending them.
Oh, but you still want to sleep with him, so
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's just biological nature. Like I didn't say that. I had to like them all. I just
Okay,
said
so my question is how well do you really value women?
I value different women differently.
Okay. Enough said. Josh, piss off. You can take the L this week.
Mm, So you're gonna take the L on the
Oh,
call
I
and
ain't
the
taking
L in
the
the putt
L.
putt.
When you put an F minus, I was like, no.
Mm.
We had some pretty good constructive back and forth. As it is, we usually go wire to wire. All right, maybe you can get one more quick call in before we go to the Discord.
Oh no, damn that! It's Tuesday time.
Yep. Can't wait. I'll see you in there.
All right, Miss Bill. Thank you for your call, and I'll see you shortly.
All right, later.
So yeah, um, y'all are fun. Ladies in the deal are really really funny. Um, it amuses me. Y'all gotta, you know what? I think I understand now. Right? Because I see people watch those little skits, like those little African skits that come on Facebook, and I watch those people and there's some of those skits are terrible. The acting is real bad, and people like us who are about to watch Tubi movies, right? And I see how people can get into them and be believing that shit, or these pranks and these hoaxes, these videos that come out that are obviously staged. Because sometimes I swear y'all be biting and getting fired up. And I do not be serious. Y'all gotta understand. There's a point, and I think I've been doing it a lot more so lately that I've noticed, where at some point in the call, I switch from or I vacillate back and forth, right? And so depending on where you're going with it, I'm going to I'm going to entertain some nonsense, right? So yeah, there's that, right? Um, where do vampires go for their naked necks pics? But yeah, it's just I have no idea. Actually, it might not even be. I don't even know the answer. I'm talking about so I can't. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, it's like that. I be in this motherfucker. Um, you know, sometimes serious, sometimes joking. You just have to read between the lines. Only next. Terrible. Um, but yeah, we definitely, like I say, that was a good question. How do I value them? I value women according to the manner in which they enter my life. Right. So the way I value one particular woman may not be the same way another man may value that particular, right? And so we can understand the deception that can be applied. And we don't Again, men do it too. We know niggas spend a bunch of money on one outfit trying to make it look fly. They wear that shit every day to fool y'all asses because y'all fall for the okie doke too. Think y'all got a ball and that nigga be on some Tom Ford foolery. So, but yeah, you just gotta understand the difference. You gotta understand when somebody's trolling and not. And I just find it very funny when y'all get all wired up. But yeah, depending on how a woman comes into my life is how she will be treated. So if you come in a respectable way, then I will treat you respectably. If I discover your presence and it seems kind of whorish, I'll probably treat you a little less respectably. If it's friendly, I'm friendly. If it's rude, I'm rude, right? I will, I won't say allow you to dictate the energy. That's definitely, I will present myself as accordingly, right? I'm always a gentleman first, always. But if you cannot or do not know how to respond to a gentleman properly, then I can become whatever it is that you need me to become so that you can clearly understand where I'm coming from. But with that being said, it is time for us to slide into some 2B Tuesday. That means get into the den. The Discord link is already at the top of the chat. So where's the link to the Discord? Broderick has already picked out the movie from this Friday. Broderick has picked out the movie, and I think it's going to be a good one. And I will let him do his dedication in the den because I feel like it's dedicated to a special den folk. But I thank each and every one of you for being here. All of you wonderful people. Very interesting calls this evening. The ladies just proved my point about their terrible behavior. I just can't believe the things that they said tonight. I might need to go to church Sunday with all this shenaniganery that has been spewed. But again, I appreciate y'all. Again, it's my honor. It is my privilege. More than anything, it is my pleasure. Follow on all proper social medias. All the links you need are in the description below. Just hit the links and click instead of me telling you all this stuff. You go read it in the script. Like, I want to click this link because this is Instagram. This one is Twitter or whatever it is now. X. I ain't on Threads. I don't. It's hard for me to see the point of it, but I don't know what's going on with X either. So we'll see. I might. Yeah. What? You ain't lying, J Mill. Well, we're gonna talk about that in the Discord now. Yeah, again, y'all know the rules. Beat me there. Don't meet me there. If you ain't damn near in that motherfucker now, you probably not gonna beat me there. But if you're already in that thing, well, get out so I can beat you. Yeah, tomorrow, 9 p.m., same damn time, same damn channel. Hopefully, if everything goes as accordingly, I should have a special guest with me, and it's going to be a great stream. I already know what we're talking about. It's going to be a great conversation. I think it's going to be a conversation everybody should be able to relate to. Okay, folks are already in the damn den. Okay. I see y'all. I think y'all cool this year. I got y'all a little victory today, but I'll win tomorrow. Anyway, with that being said, I'm out. I'm gone. Adios. Adios, amigos. With all of those, some other Spanish words. I'm gone. It's 2B Tuesday, so ain't no sleep.